Namaste, welcome everyone. This is Kata here from Ibiza. This is my 14 days Myofascial Yin Yoga challenge, and I'm so glad that you are also part of it. We are approaching day 5. It goes quick, right? And this means that we are shifting from the preparations to spring, from what we did so far, a little bit of winter feeling, right? A little bit the kidney support, to get into the liver, to get into the actual spring organs. So today we will work with the liver, and liver is a very big organ. It has more than 500 functions. I love to talk about the liver as if it would be the organ of compassion. It is our organ that is able to soften all the different conflicts and tries to hold it all together. It's just really like a good mama in a home, right, in a family, who tries to soothe all the different energies and to kind of harmonize everything into one. So when our liver is healthy, then we have a lot of patience, we have a lot of compassion, we can just really ease into any difficulties or little problems. When the liver is not so happy, it's overwhelmed, maybe we had a lot of toxins, maybe we eat not so well, maybe we absorb a lot of toxicity in many different ways, then we can get actually quite impatient, reactive, quickly upset, rejecting things quite in a tempered way, right? So spring is the time to harmonize the liver and to give it a good boost. It's an organ that can renew itself, and we will support that today. So again, make yourself comfortable in a way that is good for you. And let's just have a couple of deep breaths here. When someone has a liver that is not so happy, one of the symptoms is that they sigh a lot, right? So if you hear someone like all the time sighing a lot, probably their liver is already overwhelmed and overworked. Therefore, they use that channel through the breath, through the deep sigh, to release things that they can't really hold together anymore. So we will just start this session with a couple of deep sighs. So taking a nice long inhale, and a gentle deep sigh, like encouraging our system to release whatever no longer serves. Again, 2 more times. And 1 more. And now again, if you feel like you can have a little bit of shoulder rolls, maybe it's nice to have a little neck stretches, and even have just a tiny bit of side openers and gentle twists to open our channels for this session, for detoxification. A little bit our side body, the lateral line, and then the spiral line with some little twists. And 1 more time each. And then the other way around. And slowly come back here. And let's just have a couple of neutral breaths just to really arrive here, feel your inner space. Does it feel like we are full? Does it feel like there is indeed some spaciousness inside? Give yourself permission to just fully be here for yourself, in a focused way, and you can consciously release everything else, as this is your practice, your moment for self-care and self-love and deep connection. And then from here, we'll just take our hands behind our bum and slowly have just a tiny bit of windshield wipers. Just a little bit of opening the hips, allowing some movement, some loosening before we stretch. And then slowly take your feet together, coming towards the butterfly position. And today we're gonna use the butterfly to support our liver. So we're gonna look for one of the points of the liver that is one of the most powerful points, actually the source point, which is the liver 3. So if you go for the big toe and you come down on the inner side of it, which goes towards the second toe, you get that meeting point of the two toes, and from there you go straight down until you found yourself in that little valley before the bones are picking up, right? The metacarpal bones, carpal bones that are coming towards the top of the foot, right? So you might get this just a couple of fingers down from the meeting point of the two toes, straight line, and that's where liver 3 is. If you're unsure, you can always Google it, liver 3, very, very common point in almost every acupuncture treatment. People would treat it. It's the big release of any type of stuckness and blockages in our bodies that can be done with this point, and just really calming our inner tensions and inner conflicts and just to harmonize everything. So let's find it on both feet, and you can press it a little bit. You can go in there with your nails, maybe you go in there with your fingertips, just massage a little bit. I do that with my index finger. And if you need support for your thighs, you can put some blocks on bolsters. And then just have a little breath here with an inhale. And gently release your upper body with the exhale. You don't need to go super deep, as long as we feel a stretch on the inner legs. And maybe you can feel that the inner leg area is becoming way more vibrant, way more alive, because we are pressing that point actually. Later on, the energy channel from the liver is going through the inner leg, so you may feel the entire channel actually becoming more alive. And just calmly breathing here. If your head needs support, you can put something underneath your head. If for some people there's limitation in the hips, you can always do half butterfly, like extending one leg forward and just press on the other foot. Then you can bend forward. Or you can also just sit on a pillow or a block. And let's just calmly breathe here. With every exhale, just release, relax a little bit more. And with every inhalation, inviting the energy of renewal spring. And then slowly you can relax the hands, you can release the points and stay here for a couple of more breaths. If you want, you can always slide your feet a little bit more forward to ease the hips more. And allowing maybe your upper body to melt a little deeper into the pose. With every inhale, receiving, breathing in the energy of renewal. And with every exhale, just softening, releasing, letting go. And the very last breath here. And a nice long full exhale throughout your mouth. And very gently we can move out of the pose. Maybe it feels nice to just gently press on the inner leg a little bit, like you would walk up on your inner leg, inner thigh. And then from here, slowly you can just take our hands behind and again have a little windshield wipers. Bringing a little fluid moves, which is always very nourishing for our fascia. And then from here, we will just continue with deer pose. So you can maintain one of the legs in front of you, one of the shin bone in front of you, sort of like horizontal, and then your thigh sort of 90 degrees. There is no rule on that. However, if you want, you can get the shin a little bit more in, and then the behind leg is sort of same shape but just turned the other way around. So you may want to have this zigzag. See how is it for your pelvis, your sacroiliac area, because there is an external rotation and an internal rotation, so a bit of an asymmetric move for our sacroiliac joint. If that's not so comfortable, you can sit on a block. And then we will have two options here. If you feel like you want to get a bit more energized, you can stay upward and just twist against that front leg. towards the direction of that front leg. If you feel like you need a bit more grounding and maybe the lower back is not so happy, you may want to just come down as we would go down for swan, just keeping the back leg bent, right? It's going to be completely different sensation. So maybe you feel it a bit more inner leg, outer hip. If you twist, obviously there's going to be sensations in the torso, in the shoulders, or more in the outer hip, inner thigh as you fold forward. And just again, choose the right depth. Nothing too intense. You can check where is your furthest edge and then come back from it. And just settle there, calmly breathing. And try to really soften into any sensation that may arise. Not fighting anything, not resisting anything. Just softening. And if as we stay here longer, you feel like there is space opening up and you want to go a little deeper into the pose, whether you are doing the twists or the forward fold, you can allow your body to sink in deeper. And the last 2 breaths here. And with a nice long full exhale, slowly coming back to the center. Gently moving our legs. So having a few more rounds with the windshield wipers. And eventually moving over towards the opposite side. Again, you want to try to have this 90 degrees everywhere. However, it's not a problem if you don't have it. If your knee is sensitive, you can put something under the knee. And then again, decide whether you want to twist against the front leg or you want to come into the forward fold and having more of an outer hip stretch. Right, so your choice. Obviously, if you did one thing on the first side, you should do the same on this side. And then again, check the right depths of the pose. And once you found it, just gently settle. Noticing the sensations. What is there to feel, to sense, to embrace? What is there to release? And for the last few breaths, if you want, you can maybe go a little deeper into the pose, if your body allows you that. And eventually, with a nice long full exhale, we can gently come back to the center. Slowly moving again from side to side, the hips, the knees. And then from here, gently rolling down for a final mini Shavasana. If you want, you can shake a little bit. You can have a deep sigh, and you can just drop yourself down. Onto your mat. Completely release. Maybe it feels nice to have like a little more of a pentacle shape in your Shavasana, where you can really allow the energies to flow clearly and freely throughout the legs, the arms, a little bit more expansively. And just observe the sensations. And noticing how you feel. Where did this mini practice today take you? It was more of a liver activation with a little gallbladder punch. So worked on our wood element, which is renewal, detoxification, expansion, spring. Maybe you can feel a bit more active or alive inside. And then slowly, gently, we can just take our knees up to the chest. Maybe it feels nice to massage a little bit your lower back. And gently, you can roll onto your side. And from there, slowly coming up into sitting. Taking a nice long inhale and a gentle deep sigh. And just giving yourself a little moment, lend, to just be. And take both of your hands together in front of the heart. And I wish you a wonderful day. I hope that you enjoy the practice Observe yourself, what's all happening in your day. Maybe you have some new flows, some new ideas, new clarity, or some obstacle is getting removed. All that can happen. And if you like this challenge, please share it with your friends. And let's see each other tomorrow. Namaste.